economic growth. And probably China will face to the limit of growth either by energy or water resources. And personally, I believe that water resources limitation will come first before the energy, because energy can explore in many other countries. However, water resources is rather difficult to explore in other countries. Besides, if you apply the virtual water policy by importing food from outside. However, China is maintaining the 90% or over 90% of self-independence in water food production. So that option cannot be achieved. So in the past 20 years of experience that we, with the Chinese colleague, we developed the so-called, again, that today's discussion, integration, how much of integration we are dealing with. But at least that from the adaptation point of view, we try to integrate the physical process as well as the agriculture and other economical the modelings lumped together into the one model. Therefore, the details, water cycles, including precipitation and soil and runoff and groundwater, river flow network, and so on, all included, as well as the agriculture sectors. Now, we compared the data with, again, that this availability of flow rate data is very limited, and we had a very difficulty to obtain those data. But you can see that in the Changjiang case in 2002, the system is following relatively, well, I think relatively good following in terms of the peak and the wintertime runoff condition is pretty much followed, except in the lowest reach of the Changjiang and the Darton center. We have a big shift in the peaks, peak flows. On the other hand, the Yellow River Basin, in average, we predict pretty much a good agreement. However, in the lowest reach, the measured data shows strong fluctuations, which cannot be completely followed by the prediction, although our model shows pretty much relatively good the following with our agreement with the data. From these two comparisons, okay, we can say that in the natural system in Changjiang case, from the science point of view, we can improve in the future. However, Yellow River Basin case, that due to the agriculture, the exercise is so intensive, probably we need to include a socio-economic model in coupling with this the flow rate, the modeling. So from this lesson, we can say that we have to extend our own activities in not only the physical processes, but also socio-economic system should be incorporated into the system. And I'm sure from the scientific point of view, in 2 or 3 years level, if this is a real situation in China, we hope we can improve the uncertainties. In other words, reduce the assessment of the vulnerability in some extent. But still, as everybody said, that we are facing to the limitation. And from network point of view, this is one of the products which we are hoping to distribute to the Asia. However, the user is not me, but user is each country's the colleague. Therefore, we really hope that we are working together and improve the predictability, reduce the uncertainties in our model, then supply to the policymakers to do a better job in adaptation exercise. Well, maybe due to the limitation, I'll stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Watanabe. We would love to take questions, but we are a little pressed for time. But may I remind you that Asia-Pacific Adaptation Network, there will be a special and focused event tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 5, and we'll have opportunity to talk to Professor Watanabe. And we will also have a session on adaptation knowledge management, 2:30 to 3:30. Again, we will have opportunity to know more about the adaptation upon network. And now I would like to invite Professor Anders Granlund, Director, Swedish Environmental Secretariat for Asia, Sensa, Thailand. For those who don't know Anders, he has previously served as head of the SIDA Information Communication Technology Secretariat for Developing Countries and as counselor and deputy head of mission at the Embassy of Sweden in Dhaka, Bangladesh. He will present to you the web portal Asia Climate Change Adaptation in Asia and the Pacific.
Thank you, Rupa. And ladies and gentlemen, it's very late now in the afternoon, but now we should have some flashy pictures. They are getting, yeah, okay. Thank you, Professor Watanabe. They need to have more science, these guys. But what we should do here is to present to you the web portal, the Climate Change Adaptation in Asia and the Pacific, something we have been looking for over a year, and now finally we have. And we hope that this web portal could be very useful for us, because one of the major challenges, of course, facing the adaptation communities is identifying examples of good practices. And that can be scaled up and we can learn from it. It's also important to finding and connecting with others who are working on similar projects or in the same areas that can be a major challenge, undermining the effectiveness of work on the ground and sometimes creating unnecessary duplication. I would say unnecessary duplication. Duplication is good. So in this effort to increase access to information, promoting and improving exchange of adaptation knowledge, experience and tools in the region, a web portal, so-called Climate Change Adaptation in Asia and the Pacific, has been designed and developed. And I suppose you see it there with some highlights. Is that how we are supposed to use it? The interactive gateway for climate change adaptation is a response to demand for effective mechanism for sharing information and knowledge on climate change adaptation and developing adaptive capacities in Asian and Pacific countries. The knowledge-based web portal will offer services such as climate change adaptation information and knowledge assimilation, generation of knowledge, management, sharing and exchange. Primarily, the web portal will aim to provide concise information on projects, information resources, and knowledge products on climate change adaptation in Asia and the Pacific region, and share with the climate adaptation community at different scales, from practitioner to decision maker, as well as to donors and the media. Good, I can use it. Yeah. Furthermore, the We Adapt Google Earth adaptation layers is also plugged in for georeference viewing and information available on the website. So it's Apple adapted. A set of place marks, packages of information that relate to a specific location with brief description of the project, organization or data, a contact person, a link for more information, and the logo of the implementing organizations are displayed. Climate data, project information, videos, innovative research, and descriptions of people and organizations doing adaptation will all be available through the system. High and low bandwidth options will be available, so you can go for the plain text versions or satellite viewing. There are several other interesting features and functionalities that will be offered through the web portal. The ALM linkages will provide access to adaptation resources. What's ALM? What is ALM?
The Adaptation Learning.
Adaptation Learning modules. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, UNDP. I will learn, I promise. Send me a package. Including project case studies, best practices, and other tools such as the UNDP development database of adaptation profiles of individual countries. The portal is a collaborative effort amongst the Regional Climate Change Adaptation Knowledge Platform, Asia Pacific Adaptation Network, Southeast Asia Network of Climate Change Focal Points, We Adapt, and Adapt Learning Mechanism. That's the ALM, okay. Thank you. The partnering organizations in the initiatives are AIT, UNEP, RRC, AP, SEI, UNEP, ADB, World Bank, IGES, UNDP, and SENSA. So let's hope we can all use this web portal, and it's one portal among so many others, but I hope it could be useful. So, I was quite fast with this presentation. I know that you have free internet here, so you can try it on, and if it works, then you can see what you like it. I should also not forget, because I finalized now the presentation of the web portal, that this session is probably ended, but we should not leave the room, because right in this room there will be a presentation of a MFF UNEP publication launch, a climate-proof, a 4-step guide for coastal projects, and from the mangrove for the future. So thank you very much for this web portal presentation, and thank you also for being here today, and hope you will have even more energy tomorrow. Thank you.
With that, we wrap up day 1 of the Adaptation Forum 2010. But please, we have a few more interesting launches and initiatives that we wish to share with you. I now hand you over to Serena Fortuna, my colleague.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody. Thank you very much for staying with us until this time. We will delight you with a cocktail and some reception later. We'll just grab your attention for a little bit more. One point is that we've been talking in the last 10-15 minutes about the portal, and we've been talking about partnership, and Salim was also telling us about the important issue that human habitation in lowland areas and coastal areas will probably be impossible in the future. So which could be the best example, putting together potential for population of the portal, but also a wonderful example of partnership in the region, and an example of this kind of partnership in coastal areas. So the example is the Mangroves for the Future initiative, which my colleagues will provide you with more information later. But now, because we've been talking and talking all day, we would like to refresh a bit your brains and your spirit with some very nice images from a video from MFF. So I would like my colleagues to push the play button and hear some nice music and see some nice images. Thanks.